works is you have the levels, and then there's something called infusions. Every item has an infusion track from 1 to 10. The first infusion gives you a perk onto the item. Trinkets are like really generic. All trinkets give you the same thing, so their infusions are kind of weak. But when you start looking at interesting infusions, you actually start looking at it in the weapons and in the in the heavy weapons and the mask and so on and so forth. So the way infusion works is the first infusion is if I shoot anybody anything with this weapon, it marks the target for 3 seconds and it grants 0.75 primal cooldown for anything that hits it. So if I take a neutral enemy and I shoot this thing, is enemies and allies can shoot it and their cooldown will start going down quicker. If I don't shoot a neutral enemy, but I shoot one that's against our team, an opponent, or a mob that is working for the opposing side, only my team will get the benefit. If I shoot a keeper, which is a neutral mob, or a meganot, everybody gets the benefit. So that's how that basically works. And then you'll see that along the track, the gun gets better range. It unlocks traits at 3, 6, and 9. So those traits are basically opened up for you at those points. And then at level 10, you get one of the biggest bonuses, same thing as level 1, but now it's 4.5 seconds, but it's giving you 1.5 second primal cooldown. So pretty neat. The way infusion works is the higher the rarity of a weapon, the less items it takes to infuse. So this is a common item. It takes, to get to level 8, it's going to take 12 of these guns for me to be able to infuse it. And level 10, it'll take 35 of these guns to infuse it. But let me show you something that's legendary. So same track. Again, the perks are different for all the weapons. The weapons are pretty cool because they have the most different perks. Hey man, I'm trying. This whole stream right now is just going over a lot of stuff. It's up to people. I've been the only person streaming it for regularly for about a year and a half by myself. I streamed through the whole beta. If you check my VODs go from August 26 or August 27, 2020 all the way till present. I have a stream maybe almost every week except for maybe 1 or 2 where I didn't stream at all. But there's streams that goes over every update that ever came out for this game while in beta. No. So you'll see it takes 1 to upgrade at level 1, and it only takes 8 to upgrade at level 10. The reason is legendary weapons just don't appear in shops, don't come out of chest as commonly as something that's common, rare, or epic. They're harder to get. So that's one of the key. Epic, if you just look at the upgrade status on epic, it takes only 12 items at epic, and you start off only needing 1. Let's look at rare. Upgrade track for a rare weapon would be, you start at 1 also, and you end at, that doesn't look rare. Holy crap, that's rare. My bad. There's only 1 common weapon? Are you kidding? I don't even want to see what this upgrade looks like. You need 60. Jesus. Mary and Joseph. That's a family. That's a lot of guns. Holy crap. I did not know that. You start at 1 and you jump all the way to 60. Yeah, so common's a pain in the ass. But these are the guns that appear the most in the game. So that's how that works. And then the final thing is, I know I skipped them completely, is the primal gods. This is the bad boy you start off with, is Sunder. And this is the fun thing about this game. They added these things, which is the 3D view, which never existed before. We used to just have a static picture for the longest. So in the 3D view, you get to see what the primal god looks like up close, because you're always seeing it from top down. And I'm going to show you another trick that you can basically do with the game if you have a wireless keyboard, where you can actually look at the graphics. A lot of people say like the game graphics sucks. I can understand if you don't like the way the you don't like the art. That's a matter of opinion and a matter of choice. Nobody says you have to like it. But to say that it's ugly or it doesn't look good or it looks stupid, as an artist, I just have to tell you to shut up. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Bro, the art is beautiful. You may not like the style. It's not the same thing as the art being ugly. You know what I'm saying? And it's opinion. The art is gorgeous. So this is Sunder. What's kind of cool is when you go into the 3D view, all items have the 3D view, but guns and primals are the only one that have these really cool 3D views. What's sad is there's no full 3D rotation like every other game I've played. I have no understanding about this, but no, I do not want to become famous. Go away. So there's also a lot of lore in the game that you can check out through the 3D view of every item that you see. There's little sayings. There's weapons that have been used in assassinations of certain characters, so on and so forth. So it's kind of fun to read. And if you want to learn more about Kyria, which is the name of the world, and the Welkin Islands, these are the places where you would do it. Sunder has whoops, I haven't select Sunder. I'm gonna equip him, and then I'm gonna look at his powers. Sunder has 2 powers, one named Primal Roar and one named Leap Slam. Leap Slam is the one you start off with. Pretty much you jump on stuff and you slam on them. Human version of this is called Leap Attack. Same concept, but this is in the primal form. Primal Roar, and I'll just read what they do. It's a really fast attack, but it allows you to jump onto people, and it has a decent range, 9-ish. Primal Roar is basically increases your attack bonus and your movement speed, and it doubles the size of the freaking Primal. He becomes twice as big, and it lasts for about 7.5 seconds, and you just become a wrecking ball. Tend to play that one more because I like speed with Sunder. The only problem is Sunder's health has been so low, he's harder to use for me. So he's not as enjoyable as he used to be. Next primal you're going to get is going to be Isia, also known as the Ice Lady. Same concept. These are the lore about Isia from the Stantrin catalog. Same issue. Can't do full 360. Kind of annoying. But very cool character. She's the second one. She was actually my favorite primal for the longest. She was my main primal that I used. She was the first one I leveled to level 22. Everything in her. So she has, the powers that she has are 3, because there's a variant of her called Lumia Isia, which I showed earlier in the stream, and it has a power called Wing Sweep. It's pretty much self-explanatory. If somebody comes at you, you sweep them with the wing. If they hit into something, they take more damage, but it does a certain amount of damage. If you can knock somebody back into a wall, they take damage again. So it's a legendary, because it's super rare, it's a legendary power. The default one you have is Deep Freeze. The big problem with Deep Freeze, what they did is they nerfed the damage, and then they bumped up the cooldown exponentially. I was playing it right before they made the cooldown and nerfed the damage. It was taking 10 seconds, and it was hard playing it in that manner. They brought it up by an extra 5 seconds. Effectively, Deep Freeze sucks. Like if you played Isia and you had to play Deep Freeze, it's pretty useless. You have your, while in Primal, you might get Deep Freeze off like 2 to 3 times max. That's not good. They need to bring it down. Since they decreased its damage, because it used to be an insta kill, like something got caught in it and they were human, they didn't usually make it. They decreased the damage now, but it can't kill you real fast. So why in the heck would you bring the cooldown up? 10 was fine. In reality, you should bring it down so I can use it more, because it does less damage. But they did the opposite. So currently, they have quests that force you to play Isia. That's the only reason you play her. If you have Lumia Isia, there's 0 reason to play Isia. 0. And the final power that you have, which is my favorite, is Polar Vortex. Comical thing about that ability is you send out these little, you put a circle and you put out this tornado of ice that's like sitting in an area. When I first used to play against this as Sunder, I used to run through them and just kill the person playing Isia. I thought it was one of the stupidest abilities in the game. Then I got it, and I started using it to zone people out. I would even throw polar vortexes on top of myself, which works like a makeshift deep freeze. And you had 2 charges of it, so you could basically kick ass with it. And I was just like, how is it before I started playing it, everybody used to play it like garbage? After I started doing that, then I started seeing more and more people using it to zone, more and more people using it to attack. It's really good. Before, all I would watch people do is just aim, just drop it somewhere that nobody's at, and you're just like, what's that supposed to do? Or they put it in front of you and not aim it on the primal itself, so you just run through it. It was super weird. It was super weird. It's super strong. It got nerfed into the ground also. It still works. It just takes a little longer to kill stuff. The next thing is her relics. Seeking Storm is by far my favorite relic because every 1.5 second it drops 1,200 on something. 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. I don't got to do anything. It's literally auto aim kill stuff. Someone was telling me this is a bad build to use Seeking Storm and Polar Vortex, and I'm just like, are you insane? I literally get penta kills, deca kills. I route people. If I can position her and not get her damage, I was crushing people with it. Again, this wasn't nerfed, so I'm good. Her original ability is Shiver Shroud. Remember the empathy band? This is the primal version of it, but it's really strong. Shiver Shroud, best way to use it. Let somebody take, if you're low on health, let somebody hit you. Let the Shiver Shroud build all the way to its 2,800. Let somebody hit you a little bit again, move away, let it move back to 2,800. It's actually rebuilding your health using that. Weirdest thing, but it literally works that way. If you can do that hit and run tactic over and over again, every time you lose a little bit more, it has to get back to 2,800. It's going to keep building your health back. So this can literally give you a near infinite Isia with her health coming back because of Shiver Shroud. So it's a really neat thing to use. And then the last one is Stillness. Stillness is, it slows everything down around you in 6.8 radius. So if you use a deep freeze, or if you're using a polar vortex, or even a wing sweep, the people can't escape. So you can just catch them and do more damage to them because they're trying to run away. They're slowed down, allows Isia to sail in behind them and just do crazy amounts of damage. Next primal, let's go to Torden the third. We'll show you again in 3D mode. Torden, he's too slow now. They report the speed of the game back up, but they chose not to give Torden any speed. Torden's just too slow. If they can get him up to like 4. Maybe 5, because I think he's at 4.75 right now. He might even be slower. Yeah, it's too slow. What happens is when you're fighting against a human being, by the time you get to the human being and then slam the hammer down, they can always just dodge out of it, no matter what you do. They have to make a really bad mistake or roll into a wall or misjudge their positioning to you for you to kill them. It is super hard. Before this patch, Torden could kill a person. It wasn't super easy, but you had like a 30% chance of maybe getting somebody. Right now, your chance is closer to 0 if the person doesn't make a mistake. Before, I had a 30% chance to kill you as Torden without using Thunderbolt. Running after you and coming after you as Torden, I could get you. 30% chance. It's not high, but it's possible. Right now, that damn chance is near 0. If a person's running away from you, Torden has no chance of getting him. No, none. I played a game and I'm just like, oh, this is annoying. I'm leaving. I just walk away from them because you can't reach them. No human can be reached. Even the slowest build can't be gotten. That's too slow. And for somebody to say like, oh no, that's right. No, it's not. 0% chance to kill you unless you make a mistake is not good. 0% chance unless you make a mistake is not good. I'm supposed to have the ability to kind of be able to get you. I'm supposed to be kind of a threat. I'm a freaking primal. I'm dangerous. To have 0 danger playing around a Torden does not make sense. Only on player error can you win. That's insane. Where there was a chance I could outplay you on movement and positioning myself to get you. There is 0 of that right now. It is too slow. It is the tankiest primal. Its abilities, my favorite ability is Guardian. Thunderbolt is its long range attack ability. I don't like this version. I prefer Guardian because Guardian gives you a really chunky shield that lasts for 6 seconds. And then you just keep shielding people. Like if you're watching one of your teammates are fighting, their health drops low, Guardian, they basically get this big fat health bar added onto them so they can actually fight and survive stuff. You can save people a lot. Torden's Infusions, every time he starts slamming down the hammer, he can create shields. He even has in his power kit, this Enter the Shield is also like a primal version of the, what's that bad boy called? The Empathy Band. This is also a very similar thing. As long as you're around Torden, he's generating shields for you. Smite, 10% damage, increases your circle for you to slam the hammer down by 0.8 of a meter. Better than nothing. But yeah, they need to fix that with his speed. We'll go to Jenks. Actually, we'll go to Nock because she was the 4th primal that was available. We'll equip her. She has 2 abilities. One is Poof, one is Faster. Poof is basically Blink Strike. You go to an area, you teleport, boom, massive damage on people. And then Faster, you become like a giant ball of fire, and then you can roll around on people, circle around on them, doing damage over and over again. So it's a pretty fun thing too. They both work really well. She's at the best she's been since they nerfed her in 0.17. She could be a little bit better. I think her attack speed could be just that much faster, but her cooldown between her main attacks should be a little bit faster. I'll show you her relics. One is called Playtime and one is Catch Me. Playtime increases her movement speed and all of the allies around her. And the other one, it just makes your primal attack happen faster, but it also doubles them. You have 2 in a row. Her basic primal attack is Temporal Rush, if you're wondering. Let's go back to the master so you can see her too. So this is Nock. If anybody who plays Vainglory, every time they see Nock, everyone thinks Scarf. But she's like super fast Scarf. So she's fun to play. Zoom is her attack, literally Temporal Rush Primal Edition. Each of the primals are like Lumia, are like Isia. They all have 3 attacks, but a variant will be created to bring in the third ability. So that's what we're kind of waiting for. When they say a new primal might be coming, we're all thinking it might be a new ancient primal. It might be a new Sunder. I wish it was a brand new primal in general, but it might be the ancient version of Sunder, which we all believe will be Umbra Sunder. And we'll go Jenks. He was the 5th primal to come onto the scene. Basically, Evil Minotaur is like what I like to call him. Jenks is pretty cool. He's a brawler, really good at crowd control and really good for healing. If you look at his powers, Corral and Savage Charge. Rule number 1: if you're playing Savage Charge, you aim it. Manual controller, whatever, you should manually aim it because the auto aim in this game tends to make him Savage Charge behind you, to your left, to your right. There'll be an enemy in front of you that you want to kill. It doesn't go that way. It goes somewhere else. Aim the damn thing, and it'll feel a lot better. The other problem with Savage Charge is if there's a pebble on the ground, Jenks can't go over it. Really weird, but I've actually touched a rock and got stuck by the rock Savage Charging. So you got to make sure your path is clear. You want to aim it at what you want to hit. Those are the rules. If not, you'll really hate playing Savage Charge. Next one is Corral. When I found this ability, it's this gigantic ring that goes around and it pulls everybody towards the center of it, and everybody trapped in the ring. I have to show you the relics. There's Dread and Spite. Spite's the one you get first. Spite, every time Jenks damages something, he heals. It's freaking amazing. If you use Corral with Spite, you got 5 people in the circle, you heal 490 from each of the people in the circle. Whenever you stab something with Jenks, he does damage, and then he puts an explosion under you. That explosion also does damage. So you'll go 490, boom, 490. 490, boom, 490. So you're getting a double heal with Jenks. Best strategy with Jenks is move away from the opponent. You don't want to be close. You want to always be far away so you can always spear them and you can get the double hit instead of one. So that's the key with Jenks, because his attack, that explosion is usually far away. You can aim it, but it's so unwieldy. That's why I never bother. It's better to just stick it, hit and move, and you're trying to keep as much space between you and the opponent so your spear can actually hit them, and then the explosion can also get them. So that's the best way to play Jenks. And then the final one is Lumia Isia. She is the ancient version of Isia. Again, she's supposed to be less health. She's supposed to have weaker attacks. And the reason for that is Lumia Isia attacks faster. Lumia Isia moves faster. And the cooldown between her attacks are just less. Where Isia, for her basic attacks, he has to wait 1.5 seconds. Lumia Isia waits 0.7 seconds to keep sending out basic attacks. So that's the difference. Lumia Isia moves at 6, or at 6, Isia moves at 5.5. So she's also faster in that respect. So the mistake that we're dealing with right now with her is her health is too high. They nerfed Isia's health, but Lumia Isia is supposed to have less health than Isia. They didn't nerf Lumia Isia. They nerfed Isia's primal attack damage. Lumia Isia is supposed to have less attack damage than Isia. They didn't nerf it either. So right now we're dealing with, you buy this primal, she's a pay-to-win primal. She's the best version of Isia, and you can buy her. That's silly. The idea of variants is they're supposed to be different, not just flat out better. In this case, she's flat out better in every way. Look at the stats. More health, faster, more damage. The attack range is wrong. It's 9. I still don't know why it says 18. The attack cooldowns, you can see she can attack faster. But everything else after that is the same. They need to get the damn health down. They need to, or leave her health alone. Bring Isia's health back up. Bring her damage down by 300. Bring Isia's damage down up by 300. Easy. Or bring her down by 400 and bring her up by 300. Again, super easy. It's not really that hard. They just have to tweak the numbers. And they should. So the game doesn't seem, oh wow, I got Lumia Isia, I have the best Isia in the game. And that's not the point. They keep saying it's not, but I'm telling you, I've written feedback for 3 patches now. We launched the game and we're still here. I don't get it. But all right,